get started. Wish you all a very happy new year and thanks for coming. Good to see a lot of familiar faces and some new faces. So we have two great talks lined up again today. Our first talk is going to be on a case study on migrating to cloud. This is going to be by Rashim Mogha, who is a OCI evangelist. For those of you who do not know what OCI is, it's Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And she has a lot of experience teaching thousands and thousands of people on the cloud computing. And she does workshops and conferences across the world. So I think we have a great speaker today to learn on this case study. So please welcome Rashim.
Thank you, Sudhanshu. Hi everybody, I'm Rashim. I'm Senior Director of Product Evangelism at OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And as Sudhir mentioned, we're going to talk about Oracle Cloud Infrastructure today, but engineers can build a product, but the real test of the product is when it's out there and customers adopt it and how customers work with it. So I actually had Estood, one of our partners, come in, and Abhinav Sethi from Estood actually implemented Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and their migration to cloud for University of Santiago, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some benefits around it. We're also going to talk about some of the key challenges that they faced because, lift and shift might sound like if it's very easy, but migration to cloud is not easy. It's anything but easy. So what are the key considerations? What was some of the apprehensions? How did they bring in the cultural change? Because that's important. How do they manage the teams? That's an important aspect of it. And we're going to talk about all those aspects because, as I understand from talking to quite a few of you guys over here, many of you are thinking about moving to cloud. And those are the questions. Technical aspect is one aspect, but there are so many other aspects to moving to cloud. And how do you do that? How do you manage your stakeholders? How do you set expectations with your leadership team? How do you set expectations with your teams, right? Who are apprehensive about moving to cloud and how their job roles would change when the move to cloud happens. So we're going to talk all about that. For those of you who want to connect with me on Twitter, I do have my Twitter handle over there, just to get it out of the way so that we can get started. Safe harbor statement, I just want to put it out there that anything that we discuss over here is for information purposes only. Please do not post this out anywhere, and essentially some of the things that we discuss might change over the course of time because it's an evolving product. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about cloud infrastructure considerations. When organizations start thinking about moving to cloud, what are some of the considerations that are there? And then let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Why did Oracle build a cloud infrastructure offering? So we're going to talk about that, and then I'm going to hand it over to Abhinav for the case study, and then we're going to round it off with some question answers. Sounds like a plan? Okay. So essentially, when organizations start moving to cloud or start thinking about move to cloud, because everybody's starting to think about moving to cloud. It's a $3 trillion industry, and there's going to be a 20% increase this year in terms of the organizations that are going to move to cloud. If you really look at the enterprises, only 15 to 30% of the enterprises have actually started moving to cloud. And that's essentially because there are questions around performance, there are questions about compatibility with existing workloads, the applications that are there. There are also questions around security, right? Is cloud more secure than my on-prem infrastructure? And then there is also about the questions around pricing. How predictable is the pricing? So all these, and for those of you who have followed the journey of Oracle, we have been in the ERP and the database space for a long time. And practically our footprint is there in every enterprise that exists today on the globe. And when you start thinking about that, when you start thinking about all these customers and how do we enable these customers to move to cloud these become our questions as well. These are not just our customers' questions, these are our questions as well. Like, how can we provide them the ability to move their applications and workloads to cloud with predictable pricing, with the security that they expect, with compatibility with their existing workloads, and also performance. So when Oracle actually started looking at the options that were available, because we wanted to provide our customers with a way to move to cloud, a seamless way to move their workloads to cloud, we basically saw that none of the other clouds that existed in the market kind of helped them with the performance aspect. They were variable performance results. There were limited capabilities for Oracle database as well as for apps. And Oracle has had a very rich ecosystem of ISVs. There are a lot of ISVs that have developed their products and solutions on Oracle. And then, how to move those workloads onto the cloud. And then, were there any hidden charges that were there? So when we looked at all the stuff that was available, all the questions that we had, and all the clouds that existed, we kind of realized that there was no one cloud vendor that could actually provide us the infrastructure that we needed for our customers to be able to migrate their workloads. And that's why we decided to create our own cloud. Now, I come from AWS. Before Oracle, I used to work for Amazon Web Services. And I've had multiple conversations with so many enterprise customers where, and I know the challenges that they face. And the challenges are not just around the move to the cloud in terms of cultural change, or in terms of how are we going to enable our teams. There are also technical challenges in terms of performance, in terms of how the migrations would happen, what kind of support would be required when this migration is happening. So that's the reason why we built our own cloud. The product is, we announced it in October of 2016 at Open World. We are 2 years young as an organization and as a service, and we already have thousands of customers running their production workloads, not even dev and test, but production workloads on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. And that's why I wanted to, for the purposes of today's meetup, I wanted to actually talk about University of Santiago. But before we do that, a quick highlight on services, because sometimes when I talk to customers, they say, oh, you have basic compute services. The product is new, but if you really look at it, we have services, primary services that touch across all areas of infrastructure and beyond. So we have compute, storage, as well as networking, but we also have database services. We offer containers. From our Ravelo acquisitions, we provide a Ravelo service to migrate VMware or KVM workloads. There's also Cloud at Customer service that we have, which was one of the first until Oracle, actually AWS announced it this year, but this is like building your own private cloud, and especially for our customers who had a footprint in the fintech industry or other industries where the compliance and the security regulations were such that they needed a private cloud. And then we have some data movement as well. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually invite Abhinav to come over here and talk to us about University of Santiago. And Astute was their implementation partners. They helped do the entire process, entire planning with them, and they moved of their enterprise applications as well as PeopleSoft onto Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This implementation is fairly new, and we are already seeing close to 35% benefit, 35% benefit in terms of savings on cost, and obviously there are performance savings as well, which Abhinav is going to talk about.
Thank you, Rishan.
And what I'm going to quickly do is turn over this slide so that
Thank you. Hi everyone. My name is Anubhav Seth and not Abhinav Sethi.
Sorry.
No worries. So I work with one of the Oracle partner companies, Astute Business Solutions, here in Pleasanton, California, just a mile away from here. So right now we are focusing on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and we are lifting and shifting the PeopleSoft apps and other Oracle workloads to OCI. Rashim actually gave you a very good background on OCI. So like any other customer, University of Santiago, they were struggling with the existing hardware. So they were looking for a playground for their applications where it will cost less and give them better performance. So it didn't really start with looking for a hardware. They were trying to implement PeopleSoft campus solutions, and they were trying to do that from past many years. They faced 3 failed implementations. They lost a lot of money in that, and while they were working on that, suddenly the hardware refresh came out. So they did not have any money left to invest millions of dollars in hardware again. So that is the reason they started looking at alternatives. So our co-founder Sudhir, I'll show you the slides, but I'll give you a little bit background before I go into the slides. So he met him, he was trying to evaluate different cloud providers, not only OCI but Azure or Amazon, but looking at the value they were getting on OCI. The very good thing about OCI is it is purpose built for Oracle workloads. That means if you are going to run your Oracle workloads on OCI, you will get better performance at a lower cost. And these guys, they're saving around 35% on managed services plus the hosting charges. So I do not have a lot of slides for you today, but I'll try to cover as much as I can in this meetup. So meet Francisco, he's our major stakeholder. He is managing PeopleSoft campus solution applications at University of Santiago. And it was his duty to make sure the implementation is successful, in time, within budget. And nothing was happening. I mean, he was not successful in doing that. Why? Because the hardware was not good. They invested a lot of money in that, but they were not getting the results. Their implementation teams, they started doing it internally, didn't really work out. Astute came into picture. So he's Sudhir, he's one of the co-founders of Astute Business Solutions, and he's the one who introduced OCI to Francisco. I'll give you a little bit background about Astute Business Solutions. We are in business since 2006. We are in Pleasanton, California. We have local and global presence. We have offices in Dallas, Madison. We have offices in Toronto and Hyderabad, India. We are Oracle Gold Partner and Standard Cloud Partner. What you do not see in these slides is we are MSP partners as well now with Oracle, and we are Velocity partners. Would you like to understand what MSP is?
Sure.
Okay. So MSP partner means now we can actually sell OCI on Oracle's behalf to our customers. That means we are customers to Oracle now. We buy from Oracle and we sell it to our customers. So basically the contract is between Astute and customer now, not between customer and Oracle anymore. So we sell them OCI and we run and maintain their application on OCI. We have experience in financial services, healthcare and education, Velocity partner, OCI reseller, and we have our own product in OCI and the marketplace, the Oracle marketplace. It's called as Fastest. So when you get a chance, you can go and browse through the marketplace, search for Fastest. It's a test automation product, in-house developed by us, and it's certified by Oracle. So what cloud services do we provide? Advisory services. If a company is struggling with making a selection of the cloud provider, and they do not know the roadmap, and they do not understand how they will move from on-prem environment to the cloud environment, we can work with them, do workshops, and we can put a roadmap for them together and advise them how to move to the cloud. We do a lot of POCs for our customers on cloud. So Oracle is giving free credits to the customers right now to try out OCI. And then we come into the picture and we help the customers to run and maintain their application, lift and shift demo test instance to OCI and run it there with a proper outcome. Migration services, so now you are fully convinced that OCI is the place to be. I can run my PeopleSoft or any other workload, Oracle workload on OCI. So we provide services to lift and shift your applications from on-prem or your existing data center to OCI. Implementation services, we do build ERs for you on OCI. We implement Oracle Management Cloud. I can keep on telling you more and more about all these products and features, but we do not have enough time here. But Oracle Management Cloud, I was talking with someone about CASB some time ago. So similarly, Management Cloud is a platform where you can do trend analysis, you can do monitoring, you can look at the performance, and you can not only do that on Oracle Cloud, but you can do that on-prem, and you can do it on Azure, you can do it on Amazon, anywhere. So it's a flawless product, very nice. When you get a chance, try to Google it, try to read about it, or you call me, I can give you my card and we can talk more about it. Okay, let's talk about the university now. So I am not used to this, so if you feel you can't hear me, let me know. So these guys, this university was founded in 1849. It's a public university in Chile. 65 undergraduate programs, 60 graduate programs, 128,000 acres of huge widespread campus, more than 20,000 students, international, local students, and they do provide the financial aid. So that's a little bit background about these guys. So they purchased PeopleSoft application in 2007, campus solution. They tried to implement it 3 times, it failed. They could implement partially, but it did not work. And then the hardware refresh came up, and it was about $1 million they had to spend on that. They found it extremely expensive, so which I actually covered earlier, so that's the reason they were looking for options. So there were 2 problems. Problem number 1, they could not implement campus solution. Problem number 2, obsolete hardware. So they were looking for new hardware, but at the same time they did want to complete the implementation on OCI. So they took the challenge, and what we did, we actually moved their existing campus solution application to OCI. So this process is called as lift and shift, and in Oracle language we call it move and improve also. So by that I mean is, we not only move their application from their data center to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, but we modernize the application as well. So if you're running a PeopleSoft application on a classic view, we can modernize it there, we can upgrade the tools, and we can give you the fluid look, we can provide you Elasticsearch, all the new features which were not available earlier. So they created a new team, they had alumni, and they had a Astute team working together to move the product to OCI. So if you want to provision an instance on-prem, it takes at least a week. I have seen a month also at places. When you put a request, they give you a new instance in, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks at least. We provisioned their very first instance on OCI in 2 days. This is how good it is. So a lot of automation is available. Why I'm telling you that is because a lot of automation is available on OCI. There is a tool called as PeopleSoft Cloud Manager. It is built on top of People Tools, and what it does, it lifts and shifts your PeopleSoft applications to OCI from your on-prem data center. And once you set it up, it's pretty convenient. You can provision very quickly. And other than that, you have Terraform available, which you can use on OCI. You can run the script, it will do all the plumbing work for you. It will set up your network, it will set up your security, it will set up your subnets, and it will actually create network for you. So we did all that work for them. We lifted and shifted their campus solution 9.2 application to OCI. And there are slides where I will show you what was the benefit, what was the outcome of that. So basically they started with undergraduate and graduate. They started the project with 2,300 students. Back in October, they moved more workloads to OCI. Now in Jan, we are modernizing their PeopleSoft application on OCI, implementing Fluid and Elasticsearch. So this is a screenshot from their Fluid app. This is how it looks. This is the mobile. This is interesting now. So how much they were spending monthly on infrastructure when they were on-prem, and how much they saved. They saved around 32% on infrastructure and 58% on support services, month to month. So basically, if you have an Oracle workload running on-prem right now, we have seen this, and not only for them, we have 20 other customers who are saving at least $1 million a year just by moving to OCI. You won't get that benefit on any other cloud, Azure or Amazon, because they are not first purpose built for Oracle workloads. Secondly, they are very, very expensive when it comes to storage, when it comes to infrastructure. So OCI, it has some very good functionality and features right now, and you should all try that. This is it. I do not have any more slides. So basically, all in all, these guys are very happy on OCI right now. Their applications are running flawlessly. They're saving a lot of money month to month. Do you have any questions on that? On OCI in general, if not on the university? Yes.
How long did it take to get their PeopleSoft on-site ported to the OCI, and now they're running?
So all the first instance happened in 2 days, and after that we had to spend 8 more weeks to set up everything. So dev, test, demo, UAT, production, and it's not only picking up your instances and moving to the cloud, it's also setting up your existing integrations on cloud. So whatever you could do on-prem, it should also be available on cloud. So whenever we take up a project, if you have one application running on-prem with inbound and outbound, and you may have a middleware in between, and you have a DR available, it's all on-prem in any data center, it will be around 16 weeks project where we can move your application, we can upgrade you, and we can upgrade your tools version to the latest, which is 8.5.7, and build DR for you as well. Yeah. But it's not as simple as just, click a button and it happens. You have to understand all the existing inventory of integrations, all the functionalities, or while moving that, are they looking for any new features? What automations they are looking for? So when you go to OCI, you have, the option to start and stop the services. Any instance you are not using, like dev instance, you use it once a month or once in a week, you can stop it and you do not pay for it. So you save a lot of money while doing that.
So in general, based on your experience, moving any customer from on-premise to any cloud provider, what are the biggest challenges they have to go through?
Fear, first of all, because they are security. So the questions we get, I will talk about challenges also, but first of all, they think that moving to cloud, their data will be exposed. It will not be secured anymore. The other thing is, the challenges for us is the integrations, which are already running on-prem, and how do you pick up everything and mimic it on cloud? How do you make sure from day one, the production is still up and running? All the data feeds are, working as it should. There is no, the DR is working the way it should. Your analytics are working, your dashboards are working, all your reports are working. you name it. I mean, a single application which is covered by 360-degree various systems and legacy systems. You have data coming in, data going out. An application like PeopleSoft, which is a source of HR records for many other applications. It's very, very complicated to actually move it and to make sure it's running properly. So the biggest challenge is around, first of all, convincing the customer, yes, your application will be secured. Secondly, to make sure that you do it in a way that there is no data loss. And thirdly, the production remains stable. But we have earned a lot of experience. We have done around 16 so far, PeopleSoft lift and shifts, and it's getting better and better. Even the tool set which Oracle is providing, it's getting better because we are the early adopters. So we have given a lot of feedback into the Cloud Manager and other tool sets what Oracle has now on OCI. And it has really improved. I mean, you just need to go in and get a trial and try to use it.
So I actually have a list of questions because I talk to customers all the time, right? And they ask me all these questions. So I'm going to ask Abhinav all these questions. How do you manage the cultural change? How do you manage, and how did University of Santiago, for example, manage the move to cloud from a whole change management perspective?
That's a very good question. Like I said, the fear, the unknown, and different departments within the organization with different opinions. So it's always a challenge. So what we do is we try to do workshops for them. And we try to bring them on the same page by advising on the features they will receive on OCI. And there are companies where Department A says Azure, Department B says Amazon. But the people who are actually managing the Oracle applications, they are the one who understand OCI is the place to be. So the challenge is in convincing others, but it doesn't take long. Once you do a proof of concept and you show them the advantage and the value they're getting on OCI, price-wise and performance-wise, that's it.
So I also frequently hear from customers that cloud as it exists right now for enterprises is good for dev and test environments only, right? And I hear that very frequently. Talk to me a little bit about, moving on to production and what's different from dev and test to production environments, and why is there that apprehension or the thought process around it?
Dev and test is a good way to start for a POC. And if you are not ready to move prod, there are organizations, they are running in a hybrid mode right now. They're running their production in their own data center, but their dev test UAT in cloud. But I think once you see dev and test running on the cloud, you know the features and advantages of it. That's the time to move to the cloud fully, like move your production also. But the reason they do not move is because of licensing issue, and sometimes they do not understand how Oracle can help with licensing. Oracle is very, very flexible right now. They are encouraging all their customers to move to the cloud. So a lot of support is available from Oracle right now on the licensing side of things. But if you can move dev and test, why not production? The only difference is that's a critical system with full database, but the lift and shift mechanism is not different. So if somebody has experience doing it, and if we can showcase that experience, then I think it's okay.
Then, as you mentioned, and I noted before, lift and shift is not just lift and shift. There's a lot more to it, right?
Yeah.
How do you prepare the teams that you work with, the customers that you work with, in terms of what the journey to cloud is going to look like, right? Because that's another mindset change that they have to get used to, right? There's going to be different ways of doing things. And what kind of experience do you bring in, and what kind of conversations do you have with these teams to help them go through the journey, if you will?
Okay.
So we get involved very, very early in the process. So when an Oracle rep is trying to sell OCI to the customer, and they are trying to introduce the bill of material, which we call BOM, and the architecture, we get involved at that time. and we start talking with the customer from the beginning, not that when the actually OCI is sold and come in and suddenly do lift and shift. So the education process starts very early in the process. We keep on talking with the customer. A typical cycle goes from 4 weeks to 6 months of closing the whole process. Actually, customer signing the contract with Oracle and with us to start the lift and shift. Sorry, did I answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically how you go preparing. And also, there is this myth in the industry that OCI is good only for Oracle implementations, right? And we see that all the time. And you mentioned that because you do a lot of PeopleSoft and HR. But what about new customers who are greenfield and who want to just take on a cloud vendor and have some ERP and other SaaS like solutions installed? What has your experience been on those?
We haven't implemented any other SaaS products, any other non-Oracle products on OCI yet. But what I meant was it's purpose built for Oracle workloads, means it is best suited for Oracle workloads, but that doesn't mean that nothing else can run on it. It's like any other cloud provider. It's cloud infrastructure available, hosting facility where you can run any application. Astute, we have done Oracle workloads, but nothing else so far, because we do not focus on anything else here. But definitely you can run any application on it, any middleware, any enterprise application, any VMs, any servers. It's meant for everything.
And then last but not the least, how secure is the cloud?
It's secured by default. That means it's very, very secure. It has different security layers in it. So if a couple of customers or 10 customers, their data is hosted, it's in the compartments which cannot talk with each other, and which comes as a default. You get a tenancy, and within tenancy, when you do all the plumbing work, we call it, which is provisioning of the environment, setting up the network, subnets, VCNs. So it's all very, very secured right now. We haven't seen any problems so far.
Okay, any other questions before we wrap up this session?
How many iterations you had to go through to get the 2-day runtime for lift and shift?
So that's a very good question. We usually start from the test environment. So I'll give you a typical cycle. If there is a customer running PeopleSoft HCM 9.2 on-prem, and suppose they are on tools version 85511. So to use Cloud Manager, they have to be on 85513. So how the whole thing will start, we'll pick up their production copy from on-prem, we'll copy that to OCI. We have to do it manually because they're not on a tools version which is compatible with Cloud Manager. Then we upgrade their tool set to 85513, then we use Cloud Manager, create a copy of their prod, we call it a test instance. And then there are 2 ways to go about it after that. One, you copy the test environment again and again and build other instances, which is super fast. Or if the customer is actually looking to lift and shift one environment or instance at a time, you can do that also. So Cloud Manager can do both. So dev, test, UAT, and then you do UAT twice, 3 times, 4 times till you get it right. So there is no fixed formula to that. But so far we did not have to do many iterations, so we could get it right in first or second time.
Okay, and your second slide showed Azure as one of the vendors. How was just the cost was the only reason why they opted out of Azure, or there were other technical
Performance. So not only the cost, like OCI, when we say it's purpose built, that means if you run Oracle workload on that, and plus the tool set, if you want to use Oracle tool set, it's not available on Azure. Like Cloud Manager, it's only available on OCI.
So when you say performance, at what layer you have performance?
Overall, I mean, because I'm not a technical guy, I do not implement on my own. So, but I can tell you, if you press a button, data comes back really fast. Does that answer? See, one of our customer in Orange County called as Volt Information Sciences, their CIO, he was at the Open World last year, and he loves OCI. And he did 2 or 3 conferences with us, with Oracle. and he inspired so many other customers. He's very, very happy with the performance. He said even if he tries to run the payroll on his iPad, it's fast, and there are no issues at all. I mean, there is no latency. And for now, they are not even on Fast Connect, which is the recommended network between on-prem and OCI. They're running on IPsec, and which is also working brilliant for them.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do we use Akamai or any of the CDMs on OCI?
I can provide that information to you offline. I do have information around that. Yeah. And one thing that I want to highlight for everybody, if you're interested in checking it out, on cloud.oracle.com/infrastructure, there's a whole list of customer use cases and case studies. There is also a lot of learning material that's available if you want to just go through it. Today we are providing $500 worth of Oracle CI Cloud credits, so please make the best use of it. There are a lot of labs and other activities that are available for free. Tons of resources. Our idea is to enable cloud enthusiasts as much as possible to be able to try OCI services and see whether it works for them or not.
Rashim, I would like to say one more thing. And see, if you're not ready to lift and shift your complete application, all the instances, why not start with a small POC? Get the trial, do a POC, move your dev and test, and if you do not know, there is a program called as Velocity. So in that, Oracle provides $15,000 for your POC. So if I am doing a POC for you, and you may not have to spend any money at all, it may be all covered from the Velocity dollars. So that's something which is available right now, and if you want, you can take advantage of that. I don't know how many customers are in this room. Is it all Oracle, or do we have any end users and customers? Verizon, I heard. Anyone else? Yeah, so see, it's simple, and there is no commitment required for that trial, just so you know. So if you want, you can give it a go with your enterprise applications, try and run it on OCI, see how it goes.
Well, that's all I think from the OCI team today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or to Anubhav. Happy to help you in your journey to the cloud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rashim, and thanks, Anubhav. We'll take a 10-minute break, and then we'll reconvene for the second talk.